You know how like when someone goes, yeah, have you heard that song? Like, it goes da-na-na-na-na-na. And then you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. That was Dason yesterday. Because Drew had shit, I can't remember her name now. Dang it. Anyway, she sang that song. No, just kidding. I can hear the song in my head, but I'm not going to try to attempt to sing it. But she sang this song that remember when Drew did the Oscars, and then at the end she did she kind of ran, and someone had filming her running and then turning in a circle when she had that big yellow dress on.
I remember when she did it. I just don't remember the song.
Yeah, well, she had that guest on yesterday, and I was like, who is this person again? Yeah. Is this artist? And then Dason goes, oh, she sings that song. Dun, 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 dun. And I was like, and I'm looking at her going, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Drew is laughing, and she's like, let me just show you. And she got her phone, and she was like, and then when we got back in afterwards, she was like, yeah. And then when we were in New York and the guy came to pick us up, he had that one song that was like, dun, 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 bitch, dun, dun, dun. And I was like, what song is that? And then we were laughing because Dason always thinks that we know what she's saying, but we don't. Dumb. And then Drew goes, oh, let me show you what song it is. And then she pulled up her Spotify again. And I just thought it was funny.
She just can't.
She can't help it.
No. She can't. She's not good at mimicking the song.
No. Not at all.
It's way off.
Way off. And I was like, did you ever play that game with your siblings? Me and my brother used to play this all the time. We'd be on road trips. Mm-hmm. And we'd go, okay, guess my song. Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll. But you can't say the name of the song, but you just have to hum it.
Sure, yeah.
And you have 10 seconds to guess it. Yeah. And if you don't, you get a point. Yeah. Did you ever play that?
Similar games, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Think fast. I guess similar, but not exactly song games. I don't think it was more like certain cars you'd see on the road.
Yeah. Did you ever play Slug Bug?
What's Slug Bug?
You see a V-dub.
Yeah.
But it had to be a beetle.
Yeah.
And you go Slug Bug, bam, and then you slug them because you see a bug.
Yeah. We played it.
Dude, I was so good at that game. Not only because I was because of course I have to win. But I would sit in the middle, and then if my sister and my brother would be sitting on the side, and I'm ambidextrous, so I'd be looking at you and going, slug bug. And my sister, oh. And I would hit as hard as I could, just to my brother though, just to see if I could make him cry.
You were saying I would hit it as hard as I thought for sure you were going to say my sister.
No, because she's a big baby, and she would tell on me. So my brother wouldn't, and I wouldn't tell on him when he punched me in the chest.
Sure.
Stupid stuff. Anyway, or did you play Out of State? Did you ever play Out of State?
How does that go?
You see an out of state license plate, and you get to slap that person.
No, you didn't slap them, but you punched them in the arm.
Oh.
And you'd say the state.
No, I would.
New York.
Yeah, but we would try to slap each other's faces.
No, we don't slap faces because then the game's over. We're fighting. You know what I mean?
What? Not us, because we knew how the game was played.
Sure.
So you had to be your head was on a swivel looking for an out of state license plate.
Yeah, I picture it. Yeah, I'm not taking a slap in the face. Slug bug slap. Nope. I'm not taking that.
But I would always tell my brother, you can't slap me in the front of the, you can't there's no backhanding.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You had to you had to do it this way.
Sure,
if they were on
open hand.
Yeah. And you couldn't hit the mouth because then we would be fighting because you can't touch my teeth.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Anyway.
You just punch as hard as you just try to make their arm go numb.
Yeah.
You're just slugging the crap out of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slugging the crap out of their shoulder.
And you keep hitting the same
spot. And you want to, just like you're saying, you want to win. So you want them to bow out, right? So you're constantly looking, like we used to call fast cars like a Corvette, speed. If you could see him, you say speed, and then you sock him in the arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, I never heard that
speed.
One.
Sock him and there was fast cars, there was trucks, there was names for just certain cars that you could see.
No, we just, and because we weren't allowed to talk in the car because my dad was always angry, right?
Yeah.
So can you imagine you would have to whisper it, slug bug, boom, right? And then you can't cry, you can't make a noise. You're like,
yeah.
And then you're all looking at each other. And, you're like, and then you just start laughing because you can't make noise.
No.
Have you
and
ever
it hurts.
Yeah.
And you're still laughing.
And then you're like.
Yeah, because
you because if you make a noise.
Yeah.
Hey, you want me to pull this car over? Yeah. And then. You know what I mean? So, hey, man. We didn't have iPads, okay? So those are the games we played in the car. And we reach our destination and everybody's bruised, sweating because you're trying so hard not to laugh and cry at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those? It was pretty big on, I think it was on YouTube, and then it was pretty big during the pandemic where the guys would, not during the pandemic, but like before the pandemic, where they had these group of college guys and they would go into libraries and you're not allowed to talk. And then they would ask you questions, or they would make you eat something gross and you can't, or they would play a slap game of some sort and you can't make noise.
I've never.
Oh man, somebody drop a comment on where I saw that. I know I didn't make that up, but it was like you had to be very quiet because they would do it in the library.
Sure.
And they would do things to make you either laugh or eat disgusting things, and you couldn't make them noise.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Looks fun.
Anyway, that's our version of the Zoomies, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Guess what? Episode 40.
40.
The AF5 is back, and we are now in a new month. Spooky month. Look at that's why we have our little spooky mugs. And some of you guys know that Drew bought us a thank you gift for being on tour with her, and it's this really fancy schmancy cappuccino machine or coffee machine or whatever. And Tate was fired up because it's all like electronic and whatever. And he wanted to make his cappuccino, so he finally set it up today. So
cappuccinos are my favorita.
I know. I told Drew right now, she just called and I go, hey, Daddy set up the coffee machine you bought us. And then she goes, has he had like 17 already?
You don't know 2, but he's working on it.
No, 2, and he just got it set up in 30 seconds ago, so he's already had 2. But that is his favorite, cappuccinos.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome back, guys. We're on episode 40. We are in spooky season. It is October, and you know what that means? It is the first Thursday of the month, and that means it's the Am I the Asshole edition?
Yes.
But we're going to do Halloween edition.
Nice.
That's going to be fun. Tate has not seen any of these stories that I brought up. However, before we get started, let's do our secret handshake, right? And
can I do something real quick too when you're done?
Yes. And that was next on my
Oh,
so
okay.
First, I want to say there have been quite a few of you that have DM'd us and asked if you guys can submit your own Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
And I thought, what a freaking great idea.
I know,
that is
please.
so good.
Yeah.
And so everybody that DM'd me, I said, yes, please send your Am I the Asshole? And I thought they were going to send them because it was over the last 2-3 weeks. And I haven't received one. So I don't know if they're like nervous now because I responded and they're like, oh my God, she responded. Right. So
please send them.
Yeah, if you have them. But here's the rules. Let's lay some ground rules. We only want the funny ones, dude. Like, I don't want trauma dumping. I don't want. But if it's, let me rephrase. If it's something that will help you, like with your parents, or it'll help you maybe with a relationship, but. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have any input on that?
I didn't want to put any limitations. I was thinking whatever, man. I mean, if they're good, we'll read them. If they're not so good, we won't read them. That's what I was thinking.
But here's how you get to the top of the pile.
Sure.
If they're funny and they're like just so ridiculous. Yeah. And you'll get the gist when you see my watch the last Am I the Asshole, because those were funny. Like the one boyfriend who was like, dude, I love my girlfriend, but she's just not funny. Yeah. That was funny. Yeah. Right. So things like that, or just lighthearted. Yeah. So anyway. But submit whatever you want, and then we'll choose. Yeah. Yeah? Sound good? Okay, so... Yeah,
but please submit.
We were going to do them today, but nobody turned in their homework. So we're going to do a Halloween edition of Am I the Asshole?
And we'll give you an opportunity to redo your homework.
Yes, to turn it in for 1 grade lower than it would have been. Okay.
Yes. We extended the due date. Give you a little bit more time, right?
Don't you just love that? Like when you're in school and then you go in and you're like, I didn't do my homework, or I didn't turn in a project. And then the teacher goes, or the professor goes, hey, I'm going to give you guys another week, man. And then you're like, oh, thank God. And then what happens?
You still don't do it.
I still don't do it. Or I do it the night before. Like, I'm like, don't give me any more time. You know I'm not going to do it on time. Come on. But we are going to give you guys some more time. So get your Emma the Asshole stories in. And listen, this is how you submit it. You DM us on the AF5 podcast Instagram.
Yes.
I'll repeat that and we'll put it up here on the screen. I think it's AF5_life.
Yes.
IG. Okay. We'll put it up here. You would think that I would know exactly what the handle is, but anyway, that's how you do it. You DM us. Okay. All right. And then lastly, before we get started, we have a new nail set alert.
Yeah. We wanted to share.
Spooky season.
Yeah.
And you can go first and then we'll zoom in. So tell us how you came about this new design.
Well, I know I wanted to do Halloween.
Right.
I knew that for sure. And I had a bunch of them saved. So they're like from a bunch of different.
Yeah. So explain them because people listen on Spotify.
Yeah. So they're like from a bunch of different sets of that I saw. And one of them is Jack Skellington. Is that correct? The other is Coco, right? Coco Skeleton. And then the other is a mummy. Mummy. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And so those three on both hands. And then I just have like stuff that looks like stitches, I guess, right? On the other hands.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers? Fingers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
the colors are white and black.
yeah, colors are white and black. And they're fun, man.
Yeah.
They're fun as hell. I love them.
So Tate and I go to our nail appointments together, right? Because he was like, can I just go with you? He used to go by himself. And he's like, let's just go together, which is fun, actually.
Yeah.
And then it cracks me up every time because he goes first. It cracks me up because every time he asks our amazing nail artist.
Yeah, she's badass.
She's awesome. Michelle.
Yeah.
He always asks her, can you do this? Like, can you draw this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, she always tells him, boy, shut up. Like, how dare you, like, what is it, like, question my skill sets, right?
Yeah.
And so it just makes me laugh because every time, because he thinks it's so intricate, which to the lay person, it probably does.
Yeah.
But to someone who's been doing nails for, I don't know, 15 years minimum, maybe even longer, she's like badass.
Yeah,
so,
it's art, man.
Yeah. It's super cute.
Yeah, this is probably like one of my favorite ones that she's ever done.
So let me just talk about this too.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of comments on the YouTube, like I'm 100 years old, on YouTube, saying, and we love it, saying that, oh, my husband's always wanted to do that. And Tate has encouraged him to like, just go do it, not worry about it. And now we're getting a bunch of comments and DMs saying my husband loves getting his nails done, or my son loves getting his nails done. And thank you, Tate, for encouraging
for sure.
us. And so I thought that's so cute. I love that.
I do too.
Right?
I think it's awesome. I think you should do you.
Yeah, exactly.
whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever makes you happy. I love doing these things.
We had one gal, she actually DM'd us, but with a picture of her husband. I think it was a DM, or maybe she put it in her story and tagged us. I can't remember. But they were holding hands in the car, and her nails were done and his nails were done. And she was thanking you for inspiring him to get his nails done. And I thought, it's freaking cool, dude. It's polish. Who cares? You know what I mean?
And it's art, just like I look at my tattoos as art, right?
It's an expression of who you are. Yeah. And
so,
I love that. That's so cute. Okay. So here's mine.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Zoom in on those bad boys. Zoom in. So for those of you on Spotify, it is also a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, except mine is Oogie Boogie, the bad guy, white and green and black. And then on the thumbs, I just had her do like the little moon with a little swirl on it.
Yeah, with the black background.
Black background with the little yellow moon in the middle. So anyway, but I'll post this on a different, on our IG. Yeah. These glow in the dark. Yeah. So remember you were telling me last night.
I got up to take a leak, and I came back to in the middle of the night. I got up to take a leak. And
why do you have to say take a leak? Why can't you just say I got up to use the restroom?
I don't know.
It's so crass.
We're talking to.
I got up to take a leak.
We're talking to our friends.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so I got up to go to the restroom, right? And coming back, I was like, "What is that on the well?" Because it was glowing, and it was just your hands. You were just like you were sleeping like this.
He said I was sleeping like a vampire. I was like,
And the green nails were glowing
Did it
on
scare
your
you?
chest. Yeah, that's what I was like. What the hell is that?
Yeah, Jason said, "Oh, I got glow in the dark nails last year one time, and I'll never do it again." I go, "Why?" She goes, "Because in the middle of the night, I'm like, I can, there's a mirror or whatever, and I'm like, or just look down and go, what the hell is that? And I was like, not me. I can't wait because I have a date with my bestie, and we're going to Disneyland on Thursday, and we have this tradition. It's Evelyn, and we go see the Coco theme, and anyway. I can't wait to take these nails because I'm going to do a video on how they glow in the dark with the black light. If you go like on certain rides and there's a black light, I can't wait to see them. So, anyway, those are my nails, guys. So let's just jump back into our first story on Am I the asshole for the Halloween edition? Okay. Am I the asshole for making my daughter return a Halloween costume? This happened in October, and my daughter is still acting cold and hardly speaking to me. My daughter, who's a female 16, works on an after-school job 5 days a week. Her high school has a costume contest for Halloween. So my daughter and her friends planned a group costume to enter, and she went with her friends after school to buy costumes. I picked her and her friends up from the store, and they showed me their costumes. My daughter spent $80 on hers. I was pissed. That's a lot of money to spend on something you're going to wear for a few hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that part?
I don't know. I don't like for a few hours, but like, what about the experience? Mm-hmm. What about where she's going and what she's going to be doing with her friends?
Exactly.
Like that's important,
right?
To her.
Okay, so I'm glad we're on the same page, which I knew we would be because Halloween is the holiday in our house, right?
I'm not going to lie and say $80. I was like, but I thought about the $80, but I also thought about what she's going to be doing.
Yeah,
her experience, like that's more important.
For me, I'm like, that's it. That's it.
No, that makes sense.
What does that mean?
That makes sense.
I'll tell you what it means. There's no budget when it comes to Halloween costumes because we don't do anything half-ass in this house. One time, when Drew was at University of Hawaii, she called me and she's like, "Mommy," because her and all her girlfriends were going to be villains, right? From, was it Marvel, DC?
I don't remember, but it was one of those. They were popular at that time.
Whatever. Bane.
Yeah. Was it Bane? Batman?
Yeah. That's Batman. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Is it DC? Batman's DC, right? Yeah. So it was DC Marvel Comics, right? Mm-hmm. And it was all the villains. Mm-hmm. So she's like, "I'm gonna be Bane," and I'm like, "Why would you?" I wouldn't even think of that. I would think Joker, So she always, has something really unique. Yeah. And then she calls me. She goes, "Mommy, I need this," because part of it he has like a gas mask on or of some sort, some kind of mask on, right? Mm. And she goes, "I found the perfect one. It's at a Halloween costume store online. And in order for me to get it on time and how much it costs, it was, I don't know, it was like $150, maybe $200 just for the mask. She still needed everything else. Yeah. And I was like, that's where you have to start. That's the focal point of your I'll send you some money." She's like, "Okay." She said, "Because if I buy it, I'm not going to have anything left for the rest of my costume. I'm a starving student." And I was like, "Say less." Yeah. And I run it to her, right? But anyway, so I thought, that's it? $80. Okay. All right, so here we go. So then she says that I think that's very irresponsible, an irresponsible use of money. Mm-hmm. I told her as much in the car and told her it was ridiculous. Okay, pause. And there's so much more to this story.
Wow, killing the vibes.
But like literally, like, I don't know. I feel like when you talk to your kid like that on something they're super excited about, they got to do with all their friends, I'm thinking, okay, you're crushing her Halloween dream, one, but two, like, you're questioning her. It's okay if you say, "Hey, it was a lot of money," if that's your vibe. That I wouldn't say that, but if that's your vibe, you say, "Hey, that's a lot of money. Next time going forward, maybe we can be a little more frugal or whatever." Like, you talk them through it. You don't just say, "You're an irresponsible piece of shit for a goddamn costume you're only going to wear for a few hours." You know what I mean? Anyway, that just that irked me. Yeah. Okay, so and then she said, shit, where am I? Okay, and then I dropped her friends off and took her back to the store to return the costume and accessories. Wow. Okay. Her friends found someone else to take her place in the group, and they won the costume contest, which was $100 gift card to split amongst the people, right? Amongst the girls. My daughter came home from school on Halloween and she upset and she claimed she had to sit and watch while her friends had fun and she missed out on everything. And I pointed out to her, after splitting the gift card, it would be way less than what she spent on the costume, and it was only a few hours, but she didn't want to listen to reason.
Damn, you are an asshole.
Right? Man.
You're an asshole.
And I'm like, what's your beef with Halloween, man?
No, you're an asshole.
Right? Asshole. Right?
Yeah, that's so bad.
So then this mom says, well, now a month later, I guess this was from last year, right? A month later, she's still moody and mostly ignoring me. What do you expect? And then she says, my ex-husband, pause. You have an ex-husband? I won't say anything on that, but whatever. He told me, I made her miss out, and she works so much because she works 5 days a week while going to high school. He said she worked so much and she missed out on a lot of fun stuff with her friends, and I could have let her have this. But at the end of the day, I saved her $80. I just tried teaching my daughter how to be responsible with money. She could have gotten a cheap costume, especially since she would have only worn it for a few hours. Now,
why is she still harping on that?
3 times already she said she's only going to wear it for a few hours. Yeah. She's only going to wear it for a few hours. Well, anyway, okay, I'm going to keep my comments to myself right now. So what do you think? What are some, that's it. That's the end of the story. So what's your thoughts on that?
She's mean.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Why is she being so mean?
I don't know. And I'm curious to see what the costume was. Because I'm sure if it was like a slutty costume, she would have said, and it was like inappropriate. But all she kept harping on was the $80, right?
Yeah. Plus, it was for school, so I don't think it was that bad.
No, it couldn't have been, right?
It was for a school competition, so.
Yeah, because they're not going to let you dress, inappropriately. However, I just keep thinking, like, what happened to you that you, like, you know what I mean? And maybe it's a scarcity mindset. People who grew up with no money,
sure,
they have a scarcity mindset. Hey, we got to save.
Yeah.
But clearly your daughter's doing something right. She's working 5 days a week after school while going to school.
I was going to say.
That's her money.
Yeah.
Why would you make her take it back?
I was going to say, she's obviously a great kid.
Yeah.
Look at all these things she's doing.
Exactly.
What's the problem? Let her have some fun, man.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, here's a sidebar. So Donnie Dumps, he does odd jobs for all of us so he can make money, right?
Sure.
And I tell him, okay, that's fine. But whatever you make, even if it's birthday money, whatever money you receive, half of it has to go in your savings, and a quarter of it has to go to an emergency fund, because he has 2 savings accounts, right? An emergency fund and a savings account. And then the rest of it, I don't give a shit what you do with it.
Seriously.
You want to spend $80, $200 on a Bane mask for Halloween? Knock yourself out.
Knock yourself out, man.
Because here's what happens when you work really hard, and then you're so like worried about like this mom. I feel you're so worried about it, your daughter's gonna grow up like that, and then you're just gonna keep that going. Yeah. And where is the joy in that?
Yeah, there's no see, because just going by what they said, the kid works hard, man. Goes to school, works every day. Like, she's probably like, this is my kind of like my reward. I get to go with my friends. I get to buy this costume, and I get to wear it in this competition with all my friends. Yeah, it's like prom almost, right? Yeah. Like, that's like an experience.
Well, speaking of prom. You only wear that dress for a few hours. Yeah. Are you going to tell her to go get a cheap Walmart dress? Like, hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with Walmart. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? Are you going to tell her to just, you can just go get one from the secondhand store and you don't have to. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you're working your ass off and you want to buy
something,
some money, why are you poo-pooing that?
I know.
And you're crushing the memories. All she's going to remember about that year in high school, you just made a core memory for her. Yeah. And guess what color it is? It's red, because the anger monster or whatever, the anger feeling emotion is feeling that. Or maybe even the blue one, because you made her sad.
Yeah. I mean, am I hearing this right? She mentioned a month later, the daughter is still moping.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Not moping. She's pissed.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Like a month later.
Yeah. And she's
still thinking about it.
You know why. You know why.
You're an asshole.
Have you ever watched that movie? What is it called? What Happens in Vegas? I think that's what it's called, with Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher.
I think so.
And then the best friend, he's like, she just goes and punches him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Why would you do that?" And she goes, "You know why." That's what I want to tell the mom. You know why. Right? Anyway, yes. The verdict is ass.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. That's
so bad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to help my wife with Halloween costumes? Okay. So my wife, 29, always makes the kids Halloween costumes. We have 3 kids, a 5-year-old daughter, a 7-year-old son, and a 9-year-old son. She did not have an amazing childhood, and so I think she's constantly trying to make sure our kids do. Mm-hmm. And
That's
what's
a
wrong
good
with that? She home makes every birthday cake.
Holy cow.
DIYs the birthday decorations, makes pajamas for every holiday, and always home makes the Halloween costume. She also does the theme. She does this. I love. If I had little kids, I would steal this, or maybe grandkids, right? But he said she always does these theme monthly movie nights.
Wow.
Where she creates this whole scene. For example, this month was Coraline. She makes custom dolls for each kid, a welcome home cake, and the whole food spread.
Holy cow.
How fucking fun is that?
It's amazing.
Your kids are always going to remember that, right? Mm-hmm. So this is all great, but the problem is she expects me to help.
What?
You're the sperm donor.
Are you a part of this family or not?
What the hell? Right? And he goes on to say, all the kids are in activities. We both have full-time careers. And I believe she stretches herself too thin trying to do all of this. And also she expects me to as well. We have money to just go out and buy stuff. So I don't get why we have to do so much.
What?
Well, here's my thought on that. Okay, you have money to go buy it, but like, do the kids remember? Listen, I'll tell you something. Yeah. I had a friend in elementary school, and her mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she made her Halloween costumes all the time. Mm-hmm. And I had to go to freaking Pick and Save and buy the plastic mask that you couldn't even breathe. It had one stringer in it. Yeah. You couldn't even breathe out of it. Your whole face got real sweaty. Yeah. Remember those?
And then you had the fake cape that always tore.
Yeah. And then the costume was something that you just pulled on and put your arms through it, but it was plastic.
It was all plastic. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find a picture of what it looked like, dude, right? Because I remember I was so fired up because I was C-3PO. Because that's when Star Wars came out. Yeah. But I was like, or maybe it was Empire Strikes Back. But it was like hot as fuck. Anyway, it was $5. Sure. And it came in a box with a little see-through plastic on it, right? Mm-hmm. But my friend's mom always made her costumes, and they were so bitchin', man. One year she was Shirley Temple, so she had the full-on dress with the tulle and the little clappy shoes, and like it was so fun. So I would always look at that going, damn, you're so lucky, you know? So anyway, I just think kids know that kind of stuff. So like if you want to go buy stuff to help offset it, maybe you buy some decorations, let her make the rest. Contribute something. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So
you know a lot about it. It's obviously been years because you have kids and you're involving them. So it's like,
why are you complaining now?
You've been doing it.
Yeah. Well, here's why he's complaining. Okay. Let's see. So he says, well, we have the money. Why can't we just go out and buy it? I don't understand why we have to keep doing so much. And she says, these are things that the kids will remember. Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, this all came to a head as I've been out of town most of the month for the work, so she had to shoulder the full responsibility of the kids. This caused her to be behind on making the costumes, and she's stressed. She was asking me if I'd be able to create one of the costumes for her. She has the supplies and can walk me through it. The problem is I just don't feel like it. I told her we can go to go get a cheap costume. It's not that big a deal.
Wow.
Listen, you tell me that, we're fighting in the front yard. Where you knew who you married, and we have a 9-year-old. So for at minimum 9 years, I've been doing this shit. You're gonna have beef with me now about it? I'll fight you in the front yard, right?
This is what we do.
Yeah, hello.
Every birthday, every holiday. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Act like you've been here. Yeah. What the fuck? So then,
jeez.
He says, let's just go buy one. It's not that big a deal. And so she refused. as she should.
As she should. Yeah.
And was up all night finishing these costumes. I told her the next morning that they looked awesome, and she just rolled her eyes at me.
Yeah.
She was making coffee, and I asked if she'd make me a cup, and she replied, "Go buy one." Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That was awesome, right? She's been distant and cold. I was talking to my coworker, and he called me out, saying my wife is right. My kids will remember the effort my wife put in, but they'll also remember how hard I made it for her. Damn, that's gonna live rent free in his head forever. So, and then he closes up with saying, "Well, now I'm feeling off. Like maybe I am the asshole, but at the same time, I usually do help a bit."
Stop.
I was thinking this one time wouldn't be a big deal since we were both tired. So am I the asshole?
Oh man.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that piss you off?
It does. I was hoping, I thought I saw it steering a different way.
Yeah.
And then he ended with that crap. So
and he keeps like, you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to help my wife.
Yeah. Or maybe they are right. I am being an asshole. Maybe I should fix my shit.
Dude, I would drag that bit out forever. Hey, can I have sex? Go buy some. Go buy your sex. Can I have dinner? Go buy your own dinner. Oh man, I would roll that. I would rock that to the fucking wheels fell off that. I would rock that bitch forever. That is like, that's bad.
I know.
And the mom, and he clearly says she didn't have a good childhood. So she's trying to break generational trauma or generational by creating a space for her kids to like never know that side. Yeah. And that's what we did when we were raising our kids.
Yeah. And she's been doing it for 9 years.
Yeah.
Where have you been all 9 years? I know.
What the actual fuck?
Have you been here or no?
That's what I said. Act like you've been here. Yeah. Like, you new here? Like, what the hell? So I just, listen, I get really testy when it comes to people who have kids and act like, I mean, it's no big deal. For who? For you? Because it is a big deal to your kids. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah. We didn't have any traditions growing up, right?
Not many.
We didn't like, and I know I didn't, right? No birthdays, like maybe one when we first, got out of foster care and went to live with my dad. And then after that, it was just whatevs. You know what I mean? So I always told myself when I have kids, because I always knew I was going to have kids. When I have kids, we're doing a do-over. We're doing a do-over, and we made all of our own traditions, and we carry them out every year. And if you're new here, go back and watch one of our earlier episodes. We talk about the traditions that we've created with Christmas and holidays, and then traditions with like surprises. I don't know. Have we ever talked about the surprises? Like if we're at the store and I sit, like for instance, Tate and I went to Home Goods the other day, and I saw, I don't know how it started. I think the girl started it. One year they were at CVS in the morning, and this is when they worked for me, and they came to my office and they're like, "Oh, we have a surprise for you." And it was like the ugliest Halloween candy dish. In fact, I'm going to bring it and I'm going to put it up here if I can find it for the next episode. But it's the ugliest candy dish. And it looked like a little pumpkin man with a pumpkin head, but like you put the candy in his head. Yeah. It's so ugly that it's funny, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite decoration. So now, anytime we see something really ugly like that for any holiday, we'll buy it for each other. Yeah. So we went to Home Goods. I found that ugly candy dish that was like was it a mummy?
No, I think it was a pumpkin.
It was a pumpkin too, right? It was like a white pumpkin. Anyway, I'm like, I have to have this. Put it in the cart. It's so ugly. I'm going to give it to Dason.
It was super ugly. And Dason absolutely loved it.
She goes, oh my God, I love it. But here's the thing. Whenever we buy something for each other, we're like, I have a present for you. I have a surprise. And then they go, okay. And we have to go like this. And for those of you listening on Spotify, you have to close your eyes and put both your hands out and wait for the surprise. Yeah. Even if it's a candy bar.
Even if you know what it is. So Dason would I just reminded her, or not reminded her, but asked her, because I've been wanting to ask her or Drew, doesn't matter, whatever's town they're flying into, to buy me a baseball hat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I just remembered. Oh, I gotta tell her. And then she goes, and then
they went to Ohio.
Yeah, she went to Ohio. Bought me one. They also went
Cincinnati.
to Cincinnati, and they also went to New York. And she bought me. And she bring it. I knew she's bringing it. Yeah. And then she would say, "I have a surprise for you." And then it's the same.
Close your eyes. Put out both hands.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait. You can't open your eyes until we say, "Okay, open."
Yeah, you gotta wait for them to say. Yeah.
It's dumb. Like these things are dumb, but they're traditions.
They are.
Right?
They are.
So the whole point of telling you that is like we're creating our own. Like when you have childhood trauma, you've had a shit childhood, like most of us have. You don't have to stay in that world.
No.
You don't have to carry that into your adulthood. You don't have to it doesn't mean you forget.
Sure.
Because you're never going to forget. No. That's just reality. But it doesn't mean you have to stew in that and then carry that over to your kids.
True.
It's your responsibility as a parent to break that cycle.
Yeah, it's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to choose that route. You can go the other way.
And a lot of people don't. They just go, and then they just think, oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
But you know it's not normal.
No, I just reminded myself, I was going to say earlier, when you were talking about childhood trauma and birthdays, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember my birthday when I was a kid, we never really celebrated it, right? But I looked forward to going to school. Because
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, they would sing happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
And I looked forward to it, even though as introverted as I was, as like shy as I was, I looked forward. I was like, man, I can't wait to go to school tomorrow, man. They're going to sing.
Because you feel special.
Yeah.
And that's why birthdays are a big deal in our house, right? It's crazy because you remember that kind of stuff. And me too. So because we didn't celebrate birthdays either.
Sure.
I mean, when I say we didn't celebrate, that means, no one made you the center of attention. It was like, oh yeah, it's Noel's birthday today. Oh, okay. Like, oh, I guess we'll go out to eat today or whatever. That was it. There was no hoopla. There was no, hey, it's all about you today.
Making you feel special, focused on you. Everything's for you.
So because of that, every time I'd go to school and they would sing happy birthday to me, I would cry.
Yeah. It would make me so happy.
I would tear up and I'd be like, and then especially if they would put a little cake in front of you and you're just looking at it and you're like blinking a million times trying not to cry, but you're like, this is so beautiful. At least I did. I don't know. Every time I heard the birthday song, it would make me cry. Even if it was someone else's birthday, I'd be like this watching him going, it's so beautiful because they felt special.
Yeah. The Valentines, remember?
Yeah, we talked about that.
My mom never bought me Valentines or little candies to give you money, but I got stuff from people.
Yeah.
And I would always be embarrassed.
Yeah, but you felt special and you loved it, right?
At school, I felt special, but I'd also be embarrassed because I didn't give anybody anything.
Oh, I know.
Because, everyone takes turns.
I know.
And I just got to stay at my desk.
And I would
don't have anything to give.
Dude, I would hustle the neighborhood and try and walk people's dogs and shit like that so I could have my own money. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I'm in 4th, 5th grade.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to show up with no Valentines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, my dad would be like, yeah, you don't need that shit.
Yeah.
What do you need that for?
Yeah.
I'm not spending money on other people's kids. And you're like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then at school I'd be like, hey man, can I bum a quarter off other people? And then I would start stacking quarters. And then I would go to Pick and Save or over by us was Newberry's. I would go over there and just buy a box of cards. You know what I mean? Holy shit, dude.
I know.
So anyway, suffice it to say, we went off on a kind of a tangent, but we're so passionate about be kind to your kids, man. Yeah. If you didn't like it when you grew up, why the fuck do you take that and put it on your kids? It's not cool, dude. Right. It's not cool.
Yeah, so. and I could honestly say that probably some of you aren't doing it on purpose, right? Treating like I think you're just kind of going with the flow, how you think it's supposed to be done, right? With these kids. But I'm just being honest. If you didn't like, she was just saying, if you did not like, it's not.
Yeah, if you didn't like how it felt, why would you think your kids would like that? And you're right. Many times people don't do it on purpose, but sometimes people project. Yeah. And that is a form of doing it on purpose, whether you intend to do it or not.
Sure.
Well, if you intend to do it, that is on purpose. If you don't, then it's by proxy, right? You're still being an asshole. Yeah. Anyway, we could go down a rabbit hole on this, but this is all to say, if your wife doesn't have a good childhood and you got 3 kids and they all feel super special because your wife goes out of her way to make them feel special and create traditions like themed movie night,
holy cow,
we should adopt that just for us. All right, tonight is Mad Max night. That would be so cool.
I know.
And if you're a young parent, because we have a lot of young parents that watch this, man, take these ideas and run with them. Yeah, man. Make up your own.
Make them your own.
Yeah. We made up a bunch of things that we do, and the kids still to this day remember. And when they bring it up or they say, "I just love that we did," it literally makes me tear up.
Yeah, it's the experience.
Because we didn't know we were so young when we had kids. Yeah. We didn't know our elbows from our assholes. So it's like, what the heck? Anyway, okay, so that's that. So yes, so we're 2 for 2, man. 2 assholes in a row. One mom and one dad.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here's one. This one was kind of nutty, dude. I don't even know what I would do, but this one says, "Am I the asshole for kicking my boyfriend's best friend, who happens to be a girl, out of my Halloween party because of her costume?"
What?
Yeah. So I'm 19 and had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, who's 21, and a bunch of our friends over, including his best girlfriend, right? His best friend that's a girl. Let's call her Agatha. So my boyfriend and I had decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. Okay. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because, well, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's what it's like. That's what she wrote. Well, you know. So I was pretty excited just because I thought it was funny and it was a cute couple's costume.
Sure.
Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked me what my costume was going to be. Here's your first mistake. When you plan your Halloween costume, you don't tell anybody. That's the rule of thumb that we run by.
Yeah.
Right?
It's supposed to be a surprise kind
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, too, you don't know who's going to be shady as fuck.
Yeah.
You don't know if someone's going to listen. I've seen it that people like copy your costume or whatever, right? So we always, and plus we love the element of surprise.
Yeah.
So like Josh and Mayo's Halloween party, unfortunately this year we're not going to go, and I'll tell you guys why later. But we had this whole group costume. There was like 6 of us that we were going to, because we're trying to upseat Dace and Drew, Billy and Donovan, right?
Because they win every year.
Because they win every year, which is, they've only been doing, this is the 3rd year. So they've won the last 2 years in a row, and it's pissing me off. So I was like, Mayo, let's go. Let's go ham. Anyway, we can't do it, but I still have not told anybody what we're going to be, because we're going to run it back next year. We're going to have the same costume next year because we're not going to wear it this year. Anyway, I digress. So going back to this, that's your first mistake. Don't tell anybody what your costume is. Okay.
Does she have a good relationship with Agatha? I mean,
yeah, because they're like, that's his best friend who happens to be a girl. So they're homies.
Okay.
Right. She called her and said, "Hey,
what are you wearing?
What are you wearing tomorrow?"
Yeah.
And she said, let's see. And so she said, I explained the couple's costume that my boyfriend and I will be wearing. And she replied she would probably just come as a sexy cat.
Okay.
I'm all okay. Fast forward to the night of the party. Everyone is having fun and it's a nice time. Well, it was until Agatha walked in dressed as a pumpkin. Oof. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. And I swear the room went silent. I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately, and we went into my bedroom, and I asked why she chose that costume, since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I.
Yeah.
And she said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. Hey, Agatha, nobody invited you to the group. This is 2-party only. This is not a threesome. This is 2-party only. What the hell? So I told her I didn't think it was funny and I would prefer that she change. I offered her a witch costume that she could borrow for the night, and she turned red and started to yell that I don't get to control what she wears.
Wow.
I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted and the night felt ruined. And my boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. Ooh. But a few of our friends are saying that I was being dramatic and I should have let her stay. So I guess I'm just wondering, am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Especially when she told her what you were going to be.
Your shady ass girl, friend, his friend that's a girl, that's shady.
That's no good.
And that's a red flag.
Yeah, big time.
Because she wanted people to think that they were having sex. That's crazy.
I know.
What the hell? So
I don't know.
Listen up, kids.
Why was she acting like that? Screaming.
You know why?
When she's wrong.
You know why.
When she's wrong.
She's wrong. But some of these other people said, "Oh, you're just being dramatic." Here's the thing. I wonder if the friends who said she was being dramatic, were they guys? Because I'm telling you, no woman would think that was cool.
If they understood the story. Yeah, for sure.
No woman would agree with that. So my guess is those were men. They had to have been. Unless it was a woman who said, "You're just being dramatic. It's not a big deal." Then that means that girl knows something. You know what I mean? I'm over here making up stories. I'm just telling you, no woman in their right mind would think that was fucking cool, especially when you're that young and you're like a little insecure with your new relationships and stuff like that. And I don't know. And even if you weren't, even if you were in your 40s and your husband's friend came over dressed as a pumpkin.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Dude, we're fighting in the front yard.
Yeah, just apparently knowing the night before when you asked what they were wearing. Like, why would you think this is a threesome?
Why would you think this is a thing?
Yeah.
You thought it would be a good group costume.
Yeah.
Bitch, nobody invited you to the group?
Last night we talked. I never said anything about us making a group costume. Where the fuck did that come from?
She's screaming at me. I'll be like, shut your ass. I'll pull Adam on her. Shut your ass.
Leave.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my house. No way, dude. No way. We'd be fighting in the front yard. Two pumpkins just going at it. Dude. Oh, no way, dude. That would make me, that would infuriate me.
Yeah, you are not the asshole.
So you are not the asshole.
No, you have every right to do what you did.
100%.
Yeah, I'm with you, 100%.
Hey team, drop in the comments if you think that girl was being dramatic or not, because I will guarantee you not one woman will say that.
Absolutely not. I believe you. Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Not one woman who is secure in her own skin and is not a pick-me. There you go. All right. All right, moving on. Okay. This one made me laugh out loud because this one, I kind of see myself a little bit in this one. And it's awful. Like, so you'll see. Okay. Am I the asshole for causing a scene after a 23, well, this is a guy, but I see myself in this guy. Am I the asshole for causing a scene after a 23 male, lost a costume contest to a dog? Stay with me. Okay. This guy says, I'm genuinely losing my mind here.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh because he's really competitive.
Yeah.
So I love Halloween. I love making costumes and put a lot of effort into it. My friend hosted a big Halloween party at her place and said there would be a costume contest for who had the best Halloween costume under $50, which I like because then you got to get super creative, right?
Yeah.
So, and then third and second place would win $25 and first place would win $50. Okay.
Win your money back.
Yeah, you win your money back, right? So not a huge money prize, but enough to offset the price of the costume. And to me, it was more about the fun of the game. Lies. You just want to win.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Fun of the game. You want to win, motherfucker.
You want to
Just
win.
say you want to win.
You know what, brother? I'm going to shake your hand on that because I feel you. I feel you on that, okay? But don't lie about it. Just say you want to win.
Yeah, winning is fun.
Winning is everything. Okay. So then I wanted to win, so I pulled out all the stops. And then this part made me laugh. I pulled out all the stops and went as Zorro from One Piece and only had to buy $40 worth of material. Okay, first of all, the only reason why I know what this is, first of all, I know what Zorro is. Sure. I know who Zorro is. But it's Zorro from One Piece. And One Piece is that series that Donovan watches.
He loves it.
He loves it. But it's an anime, right? It's based on an anime. So, I mean, not a lot of people know. A lot of people know anime.
Sure.
But in the general consensus of a Halloween costume contest, unless it's a party filled with anime lovers, it's going to be lost. Yeah. And my number one rule, correct me if I'm wrong, my number one rule when we do a Halloween costume is everyone has to know right away what you are. Yeah. And for whatever reason, Donnie Dumps always picks like, I'm going to be from One Piece. I'm gonna, it's always some like show that's very niche. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like,
not super popular.
He was from the Umbrella Academy. Yeah. And it was a kick-ass costume and we all love the show. Not a lot of people knew who he was. They're like, oh, are you a schoolboy going to a school? Like, because he was that one kid with he got trapped in time and he was young. I forget his name. But anyway, so my number one rule, and with Donovan, I just said, okay, whatever. Hey, bud, dress however you want. But when the girls were growing up, I was like, no one's going to know who you are. No one's going to know who you are. You know, and they'd be like, now that it's stuck in their mind and now they have to, wear something that everybody knows. So when he said he was going from Zorro from One Piece, I'm like, ooh, there's your first mistake. But anyway, moving on. He said, when I got to the party, I saw other costumes and there were some fierce competitors, but honestly, I think I had the best costume. Hey, man, of course you do. That's awesome. The confidence is there, right?
Yeah, you're in it. You're in it to win it, bud. Of course you do.
He's like, they were nice, but like mine was the best. That's so me, right? And then he goes, I thought maybe it was too obscure to people who don't know anything about anime. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Wow.
And might not go well.
Wow.
And might not go well, but it was a good costume. That's what he wrote. It was a good costume.
I'm sure it was kick ass.
Yeah. And then he says, when the winners were announced, I got second.
Mm-hmm.
This bummed me out, kind of, but hey, I still did well. And again, if I had went with something more ubiquitous, maybe people would have got it. However, the issue arose when they announced first place. First place was a dog dressed like a pirate in one of those shitty Party City pirate costumes. Dude, I see myself in you. I would have talked so much shit on that goddamn dog. I would have been pissed, right? And then he says, so if I had lost to another person, I wouldn't have cared. But I had a few drinks in me and my inhibitions were lowered and it was a fuck. He put in all caps and it was a fucking dog. So I out loud asked the host, really? The dog won? And she said yes and was gushing about how cute he looked. And I said that it was a dog and it didn't even have a say in what it was going as. And I told her this didn't seem exactly fair. Dude, that was me in my younger years. I would have fought. I would have like pled my case. I would have been so mean. Anyway, she said, she told me to lighten up and it was supposed to be fun. It's not fun if you're not winning. Hello. Everybody knows that.
Winning is fun.
And losing is not. So then he goes, I told her it's ridiculous. And she's about to give a $50 prize to the owner for spending $20 on a cheap Walmart dog costume when me and whoever was in third place actually made our costumes. She got mad that I called her ridiculous.
Wow.
And things kind of escalated into a full-blown argument that required my friend breaking us apart. So he was literally going to fight this girl? What the heck?
Sounds like it.
And then he's like, and then I was kicked out of the party for embarrassing the host like that. Listen, I'm not proud of my younger days, but this literally sounds like me. So I don't think I'm an asshole because, like, obviously that's not fair. That's exactly what he wrote.
What?
Yeah. If it was a dog costume contest, but having a bunch of people compete and lose to someone's inbred bulldog is so fucking unfair.
Wow, he's angry.
Yeah. Listen, my defense, I wasn't this angry.
You're angry.
And I didn't call a bulldog an inbred fucking dog. Anyway, and he goes, I think I was just justified in saying what I said. People there said that I should have just taken the $25 and called it a day.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Am I the asshole?
Yes, you are. It's not that big of a deal, bro.
Well, you're the asshole for yelling at the host.
For turning it into...
Yeah. But you're not the asshole for like really putting your whole chest into this costume contest.
No.
But I can tell you this. You're never going to win against a dog. A dog or a baby. You just won't. Remember that one time there was that one conference we went to and we did a lip sync contest and we did Spice Girls and everybody was rolling because Tate was dressed as one of the Spice Girls. Remember?
Yeah.
And everybody was like cheering. We got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And then these 4 little fuck ass kids came on stage and did some kind of Britney Spears thing. And they were off. Their lip sync was off. Their dance moves were off. They didn't even have good costumes. And they won.
Yeah.
See? I'm kind of like that. So I'm just going to impart my wisdom on you. Never, never, never think you're going to win against kids.
No.
A baby or a dog. You're just not, because people like dogs more than humans.
Yeah.
So
and that's why when you looked at the dog costume, you're like, it's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because people love dogs.
Yeah,
bud.
it's not the costume, dude. It's just like their little cute butts walking in a little costume, and he probably had an eye patch on as a pirate.
Yeah.
And then he probably had that costume that has fake legs in the front, so one of them was probably a peg leg.
Yeah. And then had arms with a sword.
One sword and one peg leg. Come on, dude. Even I would have given him first place. And I didn't even see it.
Winner.
Yeah. You can't compete with dogs or kids. You just can't. So calm your tits and you'll be fine. Dude. So yeah, you kind of are the asshole. In the grand scheme of things, you're the asshole. But you're not the asshole for going full bore ahead on really understanding the assignment. Staying under $50. But you also kind of fucked up with doing an anime because unless it's mainstream anime, no one knows who the fuck you are.
I was going to say it's on Netflix. It's pretty popular, but I don't think it's like super popular.
I don't think it's not that popular.
It's
clearly.
Not like, clearly.
I mean, or maybe it is. enough for him to get second. But you will always be second to a dog. Always. Don't you know that? What the hell? Anyway. All right, let's get into this last one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for scaring my neighbor's kid by making a joke during Halloween? That sounds harmless, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
How old is the kid?
Yeah, well, we're going to get there. So my neighbor's kid, and I'm a 26 male, my neighbor's kid, Ethan, is around 6 years old.
Wow.
During Halloween, all of them were trick-or-treating, and I wanted to participate in it myself, and I got a costume. It might be for those who are young, but it had been a while since I celebrated Halloween. So the guy goes and gets a costume.
It's 26.
It's 26.
Okay.
It's kind of a red flag for me, but
Yeah.
anyway, let's keep this innocent, okay?
Yeah.
So I got a Grim Reaper costume.
Okay.
Okay. But I knew that I didn't want any candies, so I instead chose to spend my time by just exploring the neighborhood with that costume, which is not unheard of. People walk around with costumes, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
I got a few stares. I was taller in height, but that was all. I noticed Ethan walking down the street with a few candies, and he stared at me, and then he asked who I was, probably because I did not look like a kid. I'm not sure. I thought, I'm thinking, and also, like, you have a mask on as a Grim Reaper, right?
I think so.
Like, it's dark and you can't see your face.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all black. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be nice. Okay, there's your first mistake.
I know.
When you're scaring people, you're not being nice. I know this because I love to scare people. You think it's funny. That's why you did it, not because you were thinking you were nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was thinking I was going to be nice to make a joke and said, "Do you not recognize me? I'm the Grim Reaper." That made me laugh because I would do that to a kid too. Someone I knew though. He said he did not believe me at first, but I was also carrying the scythe, that big old, like, what was it? I didn't know it was called scythe. What is the other one? Like a machete, almost like a, whatever. Looks like a machete. Sure. And he was only 6. I figured I'd just mess with him. I stated that I'm here to collect people who are going to die and that he's the first on my list. So if he's tall, dressed like the Grim Reaper, and he's like, "Hey, I'm coming to collect," and you're first on my list, that's funny.
And he says his name.
Yeah. And I was like, this has to go in there. He looked at me shocked and then began to scream. And then he ran away from me directly to his house. And then I got scared and decided to follow him. You already scared the fuck out of him, dude. Now you're following him. But he said, I decided to follow him to explain that it was just a joke. Liar. You probably chased him to his house, right?
Yeah, you were probably like, holy shit.
This is so great. I'm going to chase him. But he said, I was scared myself and decided to follow him to explain that it was just a joke. And he told his parents, who came outside to check who told him that. And then I removed my mask. So I guess he did have a mask.
He has the mask on.
When they opened the door, explained to his father, I was just kidding. But the dad yelled at me, accusing me of terrifying his son, and that he would report me to the cops. He said he's going to report me to the cops if I ever went near him again. No matter what I said, they would hear nothing of it. Am I the asshole? I'm torn, dude. I'm torn. Because I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I would do that too.
It's pretty funny.
That's really funny. I wouldn't walk around the neighborhood though, because that's kind of creepy. Yeah. But not in a scary, spooky Halloween. That's creepy as in a pedo kind of way. Like that's just, I wouldn't do that. But I would scare the shit. I would scare the fuck out of you if you came up on my porch.
Yeah.
100% I would.
Yeah. And I wouldn't chase you.
And I wouldn't chase you.
Yeah. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
That's very entertaining. That's why it's hard for me to say if you were an asshole or not. Because it's pretty funny.
Yeah. And if you chased him home, dude, that's funny.
Yeah, you chased him home, and then you get the reaction from the parents, and that's the reaction you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like,
if he knew that was his neighbors, it sounds like he knew his neighbors.
No, yeah. So
if someone did that to Donovan and he came home screaming, I'd be pissed. Like, who the fuck told you that? Blah, blah. And then if the neighbors are like, "I'm sorry, I was just joking," and I'd be like, "Dude, you kind of got his ass. You kind of got his ass. That's kind of funny."
I would tell my son, "Hey, look, it's so and so. They're just joking, man.
Yeah."
It's just joking. It's okay.
I'm just laughing because that's something I would do.
Yeah,
I'm better at it now, kinda. But I don't know. I think that's funny. If he told me, "Hey man, I didn't mean that's why I came over here to tell you I'm really sorry."
Yeah,
I wouldn't be still mad at him.
Especially if you were neighbors and you knew him.
And you know him.
Yeah, and they know your son knows him.
Yeah,
they interact.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would have just told my son Don. I would say, "Hey man, it's so and so, man. They're just joking, man. You all right? Go in the room."
Yeah.
Man, that shit was funny.
Dude, that was so funny.
Yeah.
And then I would go, "Did you get it on video?"
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do a video and stitch them all together of just me scaring the shit out of you guys because I love to hide around corners and scare people.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Well, how are you going to set up the video?
I don't know.
Because no one, you just do it random. It's so random. It's like,
I know. I'm gonna hide behind a corner and just and then I'm just gonna go, ah! And then I'm gonna stitch them all together. And please don't punch my face. Who out there loves to scare their kids, dude? That's one of the perks of being a mom.
no,
I love scaring my kids.
I know. And your husband. Don't forget your husband's in there. A lot more than the kids. So maybe it's I love to scare my husband first, and then if my kids happen to be there, then they're fucked.
Who did I scare on tour? Was it Phil?
Yeah, it was Phil.
It's Phil.
Yeah, because we took us in that Masonic temple. Remember? It was super creepy, bro. Like I even got scared when you did it. Like if you would have faced me,
did I get that on video?
I don't know. But if you faced me and did it, I would have jumped just like Phil. Because I got scared when you did it. Because we were in that creepy fucking attic shit, dude.
If I find the video, guys, I'll put it up right here.
It had that fucking little door like fucking Alice in Wonderland.
I
Like,
know.
what the fuck is that?
That's right, dude. I live for like things like that.
That shit was fucking nuts.
I don't know what about me. It just makes me go, oh, I'm gonna scare somebody right now. Like I don't. It's a sickness of mine. Drop a comment if you have that same sickness, and then we can be best friends. Okay, so you kind of are the asshole, but I don't know. Maybe you're not. I don't know.
In a funny way? You're an asshole in a funny way?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't like super mean,
Yeah.
like the girl who dressed like a pumpkin, but or calculated or shady.
Yeah.
That was fucking funny, dude. You got him. You got him.
Yeah.
And that's so funny.
I know.
Like, hey man, what I do is I come down to Earth, or I come up because he's probably from hell. I come up from Earth and like I got a list. I got to gather up, take back to hell with me. And is your name Ethan? That would have been so good. Your name's Ethan Smith, right?
Yeah,
you're 6, right? And you live at this 1, 2, 3, 4 Halloween Lane.
Yeah.
Dude.
What a coincidence.
And then you go, come with me with your big old like whatever that stick thingy is, come with me, and you go like that.
Oh, it's the thing from that they used to shell corn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
it's called a scythe? Scythe?
I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, come on. That's funny.
I know, that's so good.
I'm just mad I didn't think of it.
There was when I was little, Halloween, we would go trick-or-treating. And there was a neighbor across the street. He was a young single male guy. He kind of we kind of knew him as like, he would go out, watch rock bands and play loud music. And he was super young. Yeah. But cool, this neighbor kids. And one year for Halloween, he pretended like he was hanging himself. So he set up something in there where it looked like he hung himself. And then if you went closer, he'd jump down and chase.
Damn.
I know, it was good.
That's crazy.
I was scared for my life, but it was good.
Yeah. Can't get away with that these days, but that was back in the 70s. So take that for what it's worth. I remember in our neighborhood when, here's the thing. My son, he doesn't like surfing like all of us do. He doesn't like trick-or-treating. He'll go like in our cul-de-sac and then my feet hurt. I want to go home. And then he loves to pass out candy. He's that kid, right? But every year I'm like, nope, we got to go 2 more blocks. I want him to have the experience. I'm forcing him to have fun, right?
So, you're like, eat some candy, let's go.
Yeah. I don't even check his candy. I'm like, there's no razor blades in him. Just go ahead and eat them. We'll eat candy around the block. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. But we go to this house, right? And this guy had, and I don't know if you remember, it was up here on the hill.
Yeah.
He had a fake mailbox.
Yeah.
Like, the mailboxes where you like open the little window thingy or the little door. He had one on the street. I didn't see it. I saw it, but I didn't know it was fake, right? And so I'm walking with Donovan, and I'm like, it's fine. And they used to have remember the big haunted house?
Haunted house.
So all these like teenage boys would always have like this haunted house. The dad would set it up. It's really cool. And we always had to walk across the street because my son was like, no, right? I'm all, come on, let's just walk through it once. He's like, no. And I'm all, damn it, So then we go past that house, or we're coming up to the house, and we're crossing the street, and I'm like right in front of the mailbox. And that mailbox pops open and a big hand came at it, right? And it was like screams, right?
Yeah.
Wah! And it was like right here. And I was like, wah! Right? Dude, threw my kid across the street and ran. I left my kid in the street. And, you know, there's no cars or anything, but I fucking ditched his ass because I got so scared. And then Donovan started crying, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I came back to get him. All these parents that were walking on the sidewalk dying, dude. I was like, hey, man, every man for himself. Like, I'm like, ta-da-ta, I'll be right, you know, I'm here all week, right? But all these parents were laughing, right? And then he was so mad at me because I think he was probably in kindergarten. Ditched his ass, dude. And all his candy fell on the street. And I was like, sorry, buddy, while picking it up. And I was like, hey, man, like, I love to scare people, and I like to be scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why nobody will watch scary movies with me because I scream and I can't help it. And Jason's like, yes, you can. And she gets like irrationally angry at me. And anyway, I like to do that. One time, the very last time Donovan actually trick-or-treated, there was when we go up at the top of the hill, there was a corner house, and they it was It themed, right?
Oh, okay.
The clown It. That shit was fucking scary, dude. It was so scary because outside it had the lights.
Yeah.
And there was the owner of the house, he was just standing there as It, and he had like a legit It costume on. Clown costume.
Oh.
Legit. And then, as luck would have it, his house was on a corner, and there was a drain, a storm drain, right in the front of his house.
Yeah.
And he tied a red fucking balloon. Is it red or
Yeah,
a
red
yellow?
balloon. Is it red balloon?
He tied one red balloon to that storm drain.
Oh.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's terrifying, but so fun.
Yeah.
And we're coming down the street, and I'm assessing the situation here, right? Because this is the first time this guy's ever gone this out for his. And I'm looking, and I'm like, there's a balloon. And then he was just standing there. So I was like, is that an animatronic? Because he was so tall and it was real. It looked so real. And he wasn't moving. And he was just like this. And you know, the clown's like this, right? And he's just standing there. And I go, is it an animatronic? I don't want to walk by it. Because remember that one time I walked by the
mailbox.
mailbox. And Donovan at this time was probably like, I don't know, 10?
Sure.
Maybe 12? And I was like, damn, I can't ditch my kid again. He'll never forgive me. So I was like, oh, man, I don't know if that's real. And I saw the balloon, and I go, damn, what a great, theme. So I just walk past, like, I'm still on the sidewalk. I'm walking with Donovan, and then he starts moving, and I'm like, bye, bitch. I ran up the street. I'm not even joking. I just started running. I didn't scream this time. Nothing. I just started running. And Donovan's like, wait for me. And he's like, I'm not even kidding. I must have ran like 10 houses.
The guy started moving?
He just started walking. He wasn't screaming.
Yeah.
He didn't chase me. Nothing. But I'm walking on the street, right? And I'm looking.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking to my right, and I'm walking, like, I'm not even looking on the sidewalk. Sure. I'm just looking at him and just walking like this because I was like, I don't know if it's an animatronic.
Sure.
I don't know if he's gonna chase me.
Yeah.
And I see him, and then all he did was move his arms, and he just started walking 2 steps. Bye, bitch. I'm out. I'm out. I ran so fast, and Donovan because he saw him moving too, and he kind of got scared, but he kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
And then he looks, I'm gone. Just a puff of smoke. Goodbye. And he was like, wait for me. Then he started running, and he's like, why would you leave me? I was like, sorry, buddy. It was reflex. And then there was a whole bunch of families across the street laughing. And there were some dads, because what we do in our neighborhood, we walk around, like, we have strollers, and we would bring roadies, right? Yeah. So we'd have beers and red Solo cups or whatever. And at that time, I didn't have my Solo cup. I wasn't drinking at all, actually. Yeah. But the families across the street were, and they had their strollers, and they had their little roadies. Yeah. And it was so funny. This one dad, he's drinking, and he was like dying laughing. He's like, that's the funniest shit I ever seen. And he goes, and you know what? That's why we're not on that side, because I was going to ditch my kids too. And then his wife's like, he left the stroller. He ditched his baby and took off running. And I was like, see, buddy, mommy's not the only one. He's like, I want to go home. So I was like, all right, well, let's go home. Oh, man, he was so mad. Do you remember that?
I remember the house, but I don't remember the story.
No, ask Donovan. When we're done here, ask Donovan, hey, did your mom ditch you when she saw it? You bet your sweet ass she did. So anyway.
I wanted to, because I remember you talking about it when you came home. Yeah. And then I wanted to go see it. And you're like, no, we're not going over there.
Yeah, because Donovan didn't want to go see it.
Yeah.
I would look at it from afar.
Sure.
Even though I know it's fake. It's still fun to be scared.
Yeah.
That's why I love Not Scary Farm.
Yeah.
I love being scared. It's so funny. Anyway, I ditched my son twice. So I'm just saying, if there's haunted anything, don't take me, dude. I will leave your ass. I don't care.
Let's utilize those two incidents with Donovan and put you in a "Am I the asshole" scenario.
Hey, you know what? Okay, cool.
Twice.
Yeah.
Once when he was 6 and once when he was 6 years later.
Dude, I already know I'm the asshole. But you know what? I can't. My intention is pure,
sure,
but my impact is fucked. Like, he's impacted. That's why he's scared of everything. Like, he hates haunted houses. He won't
watch movies.
He won't watch scary movies.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old and won't watch scary movies.
And he loves the movies.
Yeah.
Loves the movies.
So I told him, hey, buddy, this year we're going to marathon it. And he's like, no, we're not. Well, please. No. And he goes, no. And him and Dason, literally, they want to fight me in the front yard.
Yeah.
They hate watching scary movies with me. And one time they banned me to the kitchen. I had to watch a scary movie from the kitchen because I was too loud.
Because the screaming scares the shit out of them.
Also,
and it's like, so it's not that it's unexpected because we know it's going to happen, but I don't know when. I don't know when it's going to happen.
I can't.
It's super intense.
I can't help it. Can't help it.
We're all watching it scared as fuck too. Yeah. So then in the stream, like, oh shit.
Dude, one time,
knock it off. Jason's all, Mom, knock it off.
I know. And she's like, Mommy! Jesus fucking Christ! I'm all, oh my God. Like, relax, right? We're at home. She won't do that in public. But one time, the last time we all went to the movies together, it was before tour.
Okay.
We went and then they had previews, right? This was like in the spring.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was before we went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was in the spring. And listen, there's two things that scare me the most in scary movies, right? It's kids that die. They die as children and then they come back as ghosts or whatever.
Yeah.
Or scary dolls.
Yeah.
Those two things scare the living daylights out of me. And I will watch every movie that has a scary doll, Chucky, Annabelle. I'll watch them all. And they terrify me. And so, or where kids die, someone murders them when they're little or whatever. And they come back to life.
Yeah.
Those are the bane of my existence, right? Yeah. So one time we went to the movies and they had promos. So the previews were going on and there was this one, and anything like religious, like The Omen, right, with Damien or whatever. And so there was like some kind of like church or convent or whatever, and there was like kids that had died and they were living in the attic, and then someone comes, and you know it's coming because it's like, you know, and someone goes, "What's in this little hole right here?" and slides back the door, and then you know, and then I was like, ah! But as I'm doing that, this is how you know it's real, because I'm eating popcorn and I'm watching it and I'm like, ah! And then I start going. And then Dason looks at me and she goes, "That's what you get." But she didn't say it out loud. She was looking at me. She told me later, right? And I was like, ah! And I was choking on popcorn. And then I hate things that make me irrationally angry is when people keep coughing.
And they can't stop.
And it's like, go outside. Jesus, right? I can't even stand it when I do it. So I kept coughing, and the popcorn kernel was stuck in my throat. So I got up because she said, I was looking at her going, "That's karma, bitch." That's what she said. And I was like, and then I kept coughing, and then I was like, my eyes were watering, and then she's like, "Oh no, she's really choking." So I went outside like a good human being instead of disturbing everyone. And as soon as I walked out the door and the door closed, I was all, you know how you try to like be quiet, go. Right?
It never works.
It never works. So you got to go somewhere where you can go like that. That's what I did. And then that kernel flew out of my fucking throat. And then I was okay, I'm good. And then I went back in. And then I sat down. And then afterwards, she was telling me, "Oh man, I was so mad at you. It scared her and Donovan so bad."
Yeah.
But anyway, if anyone likes to be scared like me, we should all have a group and just go out and watch scary movies together.
Huh.
So fun. Any hoodle. That's our episode of Am I the Asshole, you guys? That's our Halloween edition. And I'm sure you guys are going to have more Am I the Asshole stories. So please, if they're your personal stories, please send them to us via DM on our Instagram, which is called AF5 Life. Anyway, do you have anything to add? I'm excited. It's spooky season, and this is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I'm just excited to film this month because it's your favorite holiday, and I know you're gonna have some crazy ideas. So.
Yeah. Well, they may or may not be Halloween themed, but I just love the month of October. Yeah. It's so freaking fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that's it for us. That's episode 40.
40.
We're in the home stretch of 52 episodes, which means a whole year.
I know.
And then we have to decide, we have to do something fun for our 1 year anniversary.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So think of it. You guys have ideas, let us know. I don't know if it's a contest or something, but we got to do some kind of celebration. We're going to drink.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do maybe we'll do a devil's lettuce episode for the anniversary. All right. Well, that's it. That's episode 40 for us. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye.